Okay, let's get started then. No, having being ready in every other aspect, let's get started. If I don't bother me right now. And here we go. Okay, and of course, good morning, everybody. Good morning, people in the chat room. My name is Abnormal, and this is the Ministry of Abnormality Twitch broadcast. Today is November 11th of 2015. That's 11/11. I am your host, Abnormal, and as always, this is the lovely Pixie. Good morning, Pixie. Are you here to try and do all the stuff you're not supposed to do? Of course you are. So, welcome today. We will be sketching today on a different commission. Good morning, Yodel, in the chat room. So great to see you today. So, let's get to work. How you doing, my love? Okay, let's get this show on the road. I have a hot drink today, since I'm feeling like maybe I might be coming down with something. So I have, I normally don't drink hot stuff, but sorry, my throat feels funny, so hey. Okay, so yesterday we started working on, I'll show you. Okay, yesterday we were working on the Murder Hobos commission. It's a commission about a group of adventurers that have stolen a sofa or couch and are running around town with it. So I'm sketching in these characters, and I love this part. I love sketching, and this is probably my favorite part of working, so, you know, I really enjoy this. So we're gonna do this for a while. We started work on this last night, so in case you missed it, I haven't uploaded it to YouTube yet, but I will. And how is everybody today? What are we gonna, I've been thinking that maybe I should start having people send me questions for me to answer on the show. That way I don't have to be asking people in the chat room all the time to give me topics to talk about. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting a cold. Pixie, you're in the way. Programming in MATLAB, and it's the worst. Well then, I would ask why you're doing it then. Is it, like, mandatory? Pixie, stop looking at the other screen. You're not gonna scratch your nails on it. I can see what you're up to. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. So the difficult part of this image is that these characters are based on the original Pathfinder character designs, which are really not made with movement in mind. They really were not created taking into account that these characters would have to move. And that kind of makes it a little bit difficult to actually move them. Good morning, Cardinal. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting sick. I can feel it. I can feel it. Yeah, I can see your plan, Pixie. You're not getting on that screen. Okay. It's too damn hot. Yeah, I'll just I'll just work here, and as soon as I'm done here, I'll run off to the gym and sweat out the... I know that's not how it works, but... But still, that's the plan. Wow. Okay, so yeah, we had a broadcast. We had a broadcast last night, and it was a little slow. Not a lot of people. Uh, it was fun, but I was a little tired. So I'm not entirely sure if I could say I enjoyed it a lot. I was definitely tired. Maybe it would have been less tiresome if I had not worked all afternoon. So I was thinking, okay, if this is something that I'm going to continue doing, then I should consider resting in the afternoon to then work at night. But, I'll see what I decide concerning that. Sorry about the yawning. That was not that was not my intention. Good morning, Matilald. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to adjust this fan. I can't have it off because if I have it off, it'll just get too hot here to work. But I can't have it on because if I'm getting sick, it's just gonna make it worse. So, oh, those first world problems. I'm not even in the first world. So, Yodel, Cardinal Upchuck, Matilald, good morning, everybody. How are you guys today? I know Yodel is programming in MATLAB and not loving it. What about the rest of you guys? How are you doing today? Oh, I'm gonna start getting sniffly. This is awesome. It always happens at the beginning of a new season. In this case, university's out. I always get a cold, like when there's a big change in how I spend my days. In this case, I don't know. Apparently, spending my days at home drawing is gonna give me a cold. Oh, apparently you're not alone in your hatred towards MATLAB, Matalt. Maybe it can make you feel better about what you have to do to know that you're not the only one that hates it. Oh, really? I haven't checked. Oh, that's, wow, okay. That's good to know. Thank you. Thank you. That is good to know. So I guess, yeah, definitely music is a no-no. Yeah, that is very interesting to know. Thank you so much for that information. Okay, so apparently, in case anybody's listening and not watching, apparently, yesterday I was doing a little bit of an experiment on my my night broadcast, and what I was doing is I played a little bit of music to see what happened. My idea was to experiment with YouTube, you know, to upload it later on to YouTube and see what happened. But I have now been informed that parts of the archived broadcast on Twitch have actually been muted. So, yeah. Okay, there you go. So we definitely can't play music. Which, you know, I can't say I'm surprised. Okay. And now we have the skull. No, actually the Slayer. Wait, the Slayer or the Skull? The Slayer. Well, still, I mean, if some parts of it are muted, I mean, even if it's not all the video, if some parts of the video are muted, that's more than enough. You know, that's enough to know that we just shouldn't do that. I mean, I suppose like, some parts... If I had to guess, there was a part where I played a Pink Floyd song, so I'm guessing that one got muted. Pink Floyd, for all that I love them, are very, very, very stiff with copyrights. I would guess. I mean, that would be my guess. But still, like, even if just parts of the video were muted, we can't, like, spend the guessing... We can't, like, spend the entire time with our broadcast guessing to see if this one is going to get muted or not. So yeah, that's I guess that's the end of that. I did have a good friend of mine offer me yesterday she's also an artist. She's a former student and a very promising young artist that I hope and I know is going to have a very bright future ahead of her. She offered me yesterday that she could play the flute on my broadcast. And I thought, well, there's a fun idea. I draw while she plays the flute. We'll have to take her up on her offer. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, and... Interesting. I'll have to check it out later. Yeah. After this broadcast, I have to check that out and answer some emails. I was planning to publish that I'm open for commissions and fill up the spots for commissions for December and January, but I've been getting some emails asking for commissions these past few days that make me think that maybe I'm not going to actually have to publish that. So if anybody listening here is thinking about commissioning stuff for this season, I will be opening commissions, but I would recommend you send your email right away because I might not actually have to open anything at all. And of course, that makes me very happy and I'm very thankful. But if that is the case, be sure to send in your commission request as soon as possible so you ensure that you have a spot. Like Metalol here. Okay, so this guy is this position. Everything is going in this direction. I'm sorry if I start sniffling too much. Apparently, he was just gonna attack me full force during the broadcast. You're gonna see me get sick live. Hey Raijin, what's up? What you meowing about? Well, if anybody has any questions now, I'm not playing any music, so feel free to ask. What questions might you have? Okay. Okay, let's see. I think he needs a little bit more on his back. A little bit thin in the front. There we go. There we go. It's funny, even though I'm like I just love starting my days like this. Sketching just puts me in such a good mood. That is actually advice I give to a lot of artists. Learn to love sketching. But then again, I don't understand how anybody could not love sketching. It's just so much fun. It's so entertaining. It's really, like, I think it's the ideal form of drawing. Sketching is just so much fun. And I enjoy it so much that when I start my day sketching, it just puts me in such a good mood. I love it. So if you're an artist, or an aspiring artist, or just an artist looking for some advice, which, you know, I don't pretend to give to any pros, but if you're an artist and kind of trying to find your groove or anything like that, I suggest learn to love sketching. Sketching is essential to every single artist, and it really is what makes this a lot of fun. Yes, Matilda, I actually did say yes. And good morning, Ebo. Today, if I'm not busy tonight, what I'm gonna try today is a little something different at night. I'm going to during the day, I'm gonna see if Audacity allows me to broadcast and record audio at the same time, and if such is the case, tonight I will be actually just reading live while I record my little experiment that I told you guys about of recording audiobooks. But that's what I'm going to try tonight. Because last night I was very, very tired, and like I'm enjoying this a lot more today. So tonight I'm going to do something a little bit more low-key and try to just read. But I can't offer any guarantees that I'm going to be online, you know, because nights are unpredictable that way. And at the same time, if maybe I can't record, because there's a lot of reasons for which I might not be able to record, not the least of them being that it all depends on the very fickle and unpredictable behavior of my neighborhood kids. If they decide to hang out my window tonight and just if they decide to just hang out my window, you know, hang out right outside of my apartment, they'll be making noise and I won't be able to record anything. And that's actually very common. Good morning, Vam. And also, actually, you know what? I might not do that tonight, because if I am getting a cold, recording audio tonight is not probably the best idea. So I guess it depends. If I am actually getting a cold and I do get a cold, I'll probably just take the night off and have a really low-key evening. So let's just wait and see. Yeah, because I am starting to feel it. Let's see. What weapons does this guy have? Just cookery knives, okay. Yeah, it is always the children's fault. I don't think I hate them so much. Ugh, I hate children. Yes. so much hatred. I do give in to these feelings. Ooh, okay. Let's just use all of them then. This image still makes me laugh. So, okay, what you're seeing here is I actually made this image in 3D. You can see right here. Like, I made a 3D version of the image, and I'm using it, like, it's a very simple 3D model that I made, and I'm using it as a base for the construction of stuff like the couch and the houses and stuff like that. Let's see. And now we start working on the couch, which we will detail in later. But you guys know we do the detailed drawing in Manga Studio, so we'll be moving over to Manga Studio in a little while. Let's see. I have to make sure this couch looks nice and pretty. You know, because why would anybody steal a couch that is ugly and stuff like that? Then again, the person that had the couch was a gnome. So gnomes not exactly known for their very developed sense of style. I'm sorry if anybody listening here is a gnome and has felt discriminated or triggered. I apologize to all gnomes that might be listening to my broadcast. I did not mean to offend you. I just kind of find your race to be funny. Would I be considered racist against gnomes? I guess not. Now here's the funny part. Like, maybe I wouldn't be surprised if somebody somewhere writes to me talking about how gnomes are an actual race in some part of the world, and I did actually make them feel bad and discriminate against them, and I should apologize. And if that were the case, I would. I'd also be like, I'd also have my mind blown by the fact that, holy shit, there are actually gnomes. Next, you're gonna tell me they're orcs. There's orcs. No, I should learn to talk. Especially if I'm gonna do this professionally. I should learn to talk. There we go. Okay. Next. Woo! See, it's very useful to do this 3D version of things before we actually draw the thing, because it's useful. Okay, now comes the druid, which we haven't actually designed. So we have some freedom. Let's see what I have in my reference images, if I have any, of the druid. No. No druids here. Great. Which means we have some level of freedom. A measure of freedom in designing our druid. Okay, let's do this. Well, let's give him... Well, he's gonna need some belts to hold up his pants. And let's give him a nice kind of... sort of skirt. And on top of that, we will lay some fur. I like a more barbaric druid. Maybe not a skirt. Maybe more like... let's see. No, actually, yeah. Definitely a nice little skirt. Here, a fur kind of thing. So, druids, transform and roll out. Wait. Did you just add the transform? I thought Optimus Prime just said roll out, not transform and roll out. Is my Transformers memory fading? Am I misremembering Transformers? I'm gonna give him... Let's show some knees. Woo, knees. Sexy. Things just got sexy here, yeah. Knees. I'm betting one of you guys has a knee fetish. That's what he said? He didn't just say roll out? He said transform and roll out? Oh, I could have sworn it was just roll out. But hey, what do I know? This goes to show. Now, keep in mind that I'm not going to make this druid, like, incredibly druid-y or druidish. Okay, druidic. I know the word. But still, I'm not going to make him completely druidic because he is, after all, wielding a katana. So it's not like he's your typical druid. He is wielding a katana. So right then and there, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Katana wielding druid. That's different. I kind of chose the word druidic. I don't really know if there's like a proper word for it, but I went with druidic. Druidine. Oh, I like Ebos. Druese. He does not look Druese. He's gonna look somewhat Druese, but not absolutely 100% Druese. He's gonna... I love it when people kind of make up rules about characters like... Well, I mean, then again, yeah, druids did actually exist, so we do actually have some base of... You know, we do have some parameters that we could follow if we want to draw actual, like, historically accurate druids. But I love it when people kind of... I did see Spaceballs. I did, but come on, cut me some slack, man. That was a very long time ago. And it's kind of difficult to find somebody to watch Spaceballs with me. The thing about Spaceballs is, and I love Spaceballs, by the way. I love that movie. But the thing about Spaceballs is that the humor doesn't really click with a lot of people nowadays, especially here, where I'm from. You know, Spaceballs is very much, I would say, it kind of depends a lot on your generation and stuff like that. And, like, these kids these days, they don't really kind of respond to Spaceballs anymore. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch it that much, but I have seen it a couple of times, and I love Spaceballs. But like I said, you know, it's difficult to find somebody to watch Spaceballs with because the humor in Spaceballs doesn't really click with everybody. It clicks with our generation and our kind of people, but once you remove yourself from that and you start looking at people from other generations and stuff like that, Spaceballs doesn't always click with them. Good morning, Cyrex. So yeah, Spaceballs is one of those movies that I love, but I can't rewatch as often because it's not easy to find somebody to watch it with. Although, you know, now that we're talking about it, I actually kind of feel like watching it just on my own. If I end up getting sick, as I feel myself getting, I'll actually watch Spaceballs. You know, lay down on the couch, take it easy, and watch Spaceballs. That sounds like a nice way to spend a cold. Well, I don't need somebody to watch Spaceballs with, but it would definitely make it a lot more fun, you know, to share. It's just that one of the things that happened to me with Spaceballs is, for example, ludicrous speed, right? The part of the movie where they mention ludicrous speed, that they're gonna have to go at ludicrous speed. I laughed so hard at that part. Like, I thought that was one of the funniest things I had seen in my life. Like, I can't even explain why I thought that Ludicrous Speed was so much fun. I thought that was like the funniest thing ever, and I laughed at that so much. And the thing is, I've never been able to find another human being that thinks Ludicrous Speed is as funny as I do. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys watching probably think Ludicrous Speed was very funny too. But it's, I mean, you guys are not here, so you guys are not company for me to watch the movie with. And it's one of those things that you want to share. Like, you want to share that humor with somebody. And I don't know. I mean, it requires like a certain humor sensibility that I guess not everybody has. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the movie is pretty dated, so a lot of the jokes are gonna fall flat on somebody that doesn't share my very specific circumstances of having been born at a certain time and having lived in the U.S. A lot of the references are not... Like, for example, right from the start, like, right from the start, you watch that movie with somebody that has not seen Star Wars, and, like, 2/3 of that movie fall flat. And I know I'm saying here you watch that movie with somebody that hasn't seen Star Wars, and you're all saying, like, who hasn't seen Star Wars? You would be surprised. You would be surprised at how many people have not seen Star Wars, especially of generations that are not my own. Like, like, most of my friends at this moment in my life are younger than me, which doesn't really make me feel old or anything, but most of my friends are in their mid-20s, mid to early 20s, and I'm in my mid-30s. And, like, all my students are in their early 20s. And I get a lot of them that have not seen Star Wars. Like, there's plenty of them that not only have not seen Star Wars, but have absolutely no plan to watch it. And, I mean, I do get the occasional Star Wars fan, and that's always awesome. But you would be surprised at how many of them... Like, at first I was, like, indignant. I was like, what? You haven't seen Star Wars? How can that be? And eventually you just kind of get used to it and like, oh, okay, you know. So apparently this generation, especially because we're talking about designers. So, we're talking about designers. We're talking about people that are like... They're not going to watch Star Wars sometimes just because it's Star Wars and they feel like it's not, like, worthy of them or something like that. You know, they're designers. They're pretentious by nature. I can say this freely because I am one. A designer, I mean. But yeah, you get a lot of people that haven't seen Star Wars and it surprises you, but after a while you kind of get used to it and you kind of start thinking, wow, you know, it's, I guess it's a lot more common than I thought for people to not have seen Star Wars. Well, you see, that's the thing, Cyrex. A designer... Well, I don't know how familiar you are with designers. And again, I'm going to say this freely because I am a designer. So, you know what? I can criticize my own. And I'm criticizing myself as I do it. So I don't really care. But designers are very... Like, normally are very pretentious people. And the thing about it is that most designers will have this kind of counterculture thing going on. So you say, for example, that how is it possible that a designer has not seen something that is part of North American culture and influence for 40 years? That's actually one of the reasons most of them haven't watched it. Like, most of these designers that I teach, they will reject a lot of American culture just because they think it's, you know, capitalism and all that kind of crap. And we're talking about 20-something-year-olds. They think that they're, you know, they think that they're part of the revolution and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, like, that they can't be or anything like that, but these, I mean, you know what it's like. You know what it's like, and these, these people think that they're like part of some counterculture revolution and stuff like that. Me, I'm not saying that they can't be. I'm just saying, oh, I love capitalism. I do. And I love Star Wars. So, in any case, yeah, it is a lot more common than you would think to find people that haven't seen Star Wars, and after a while, it just starts surprising you. Sorry about the sniffle. For example, there you go. Lord Ebo said that his fiance hasn't seen Star Wars until this summer, and I think she's in her mid-20s. And yeah, it's like Yodel says before. It's like watching Scary Movie and never seeing a horror movie first. Oh, well, be sure to tell her that I said she was in her mid-20s. I'm sure she will enjoy that. In any case, oh, she looks younger. Sorry. Lord Ebo and I are close friends. We've seen each other live several times. Anyway. Well, you see, Cyrex, you say that designers, like, how can a designer be unaware of how their influences and references and society have been made and all that kind of stuff? You see, the thing is, you get to choose. See, people get to choose what their influences... I mean, no, actually you don't get to choose what your influences are, but you do get a certain choice in what you want to allow yourself to be influenced by. And what most Americans are not aware of is that American culture is considered by most of the world to be, let's say, invasive, perhaps, is the word I'm looking for here. Most of the world considers American culture to be invasive. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was raised in New York. I love American culture. I consider myself to be very American in many ways. Growing up, you know, having lived as a kid in New York. But yeah, it's the truth. The truth of the matter is, most of the world does consider American culture to be invasive, and so when you get designers, which are like, yeah, like as you describe, like special, unique snowflakes that, you know, are like tattoo artists and piercers, and, you know, the man will never keep me down and all that kind of stuff. Designers are definitely that kind of people. You get people that will reject American culture just because. You know, it's probably, American culture is probably the best modern representation of consumerism and capitalism and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, these unique snowflake designers and all that kind of stuff definitely see rejecting American culture as their way of manifesting their individuality and all that kind of crap. And I mean, they're not all that way. I've met plenty of designers that are just fine with, like, you know, and as you grow up, you kind of realize that this whole rejection of American culture is actually quite stupid. You know, it's United States is not perfect, but just because it's not perfect doesn't mean that there's nothing of value there. And if they are like the most influential country on the planet right now, there's a reason for it. You know, it's not like we just randomly selected which country we would be mostly influenced by. But that is the truth, though. I mean, I handle a lot of these students each semester, and a lot of them will just reject American manifestations of culture simply on principle that they're American. Oh, absolutely, ego and self-importance. Like, no doubt about it. And I wouldn't even, like I said, I'm a designer, so I criticize it a lot from a designer point of view, as in, like, I'm a part of them, and I get to criticize my group of people. But I don't think it even has that much to do with them being designers so much as it's just like, they're in their 20s. That's the way people are at that age. And that makes me sound very old. I'm sorry, but it's true. That's just the way. That's just the way we kind of behave at that age. It's very entertaining to have arguments with these people, I guess. And I'm guessing that a lot of the people listening right now are of that age just as well. And it's just, yeah, kind of the way it's kind of the way it works with each and every generation. But yeah, a lot of Americans don't seem to be aware that in other parts of the world they are considered like something to something culturally to fight against. And there's no real reason for it. It's just because at that age you just fight against whatever's mainstream, and American culture is the mainstream. So there you go. Yeah. And yeah, that definitely was a conversation that made us, well, some of us, sound very old. Complaining about those young whippersnappers, all that kind of stuff, but it is true. And again, don't get me wrong, like I have plenty of students that are okay with American culture and that are not like in any way like those kind of things. I have other students that like there's a great variety. Let's not like generalize all designers. I have students that are obsessed with pop culture and definitely were happy to call Kanye West Jesus when he decided that that would be his new name or nickname or whatever he wants to call it. I have more than enough students that were happy to refer to Kanye West as Jesus or Jeezy or whatever he wanted to call himself, and more than enough students that consider the Kardashians to be role models and stuff like that. I mean, you get everything, and it's scary sometimes. But that's just the way these things happen. I'm guessing when I was in my 20s, people were probably thinking it was a very big disappointment that I was admiring Marilyn Manson. So, it just kind of works that way. Well, that's a very depressing uh, post there, Cyrix. That is incredibly depressing. Uh, okay, yeah. I mean, you just posted a very accurate uh, uh, analysis of how life goes, and I'm actually going to read it. I'm going to read it out loud in case anybody's listening and not watching here. So, Cyrix posts in the chat room. Age 10, I can't wait to grow up. Age 20, I know everything. Age 30, holy shit, I don't know anything. Age 40, I want to be 20 again. Age 50, I miss my 30s, but soon I'll retire and everything will be okay. Age 50, age 60, ah shit, my old age security pension government plan shit the bed. Age 70, I miss being 50, but I don't miss 100-hour work weeks. I think that's a very depressing and accurate representation of how we go through life. I especially identify with the way you portray my age, as in my 30s, because that's really the way I feel. Like, I feel that now I'm in my 30s and I don't know shit. Like, I'm in my 30s thinking, holy crap, I know nothing. Yeah, that's definitely the way I feel right now. Well, I definitely hope to live until, like, very, very old age. I mean, hey, technology. Oh wow, that was a very depressing post, Cyrix, with a very optimistic follow-up. Let's I need to see. I think this druid has a wolf companion, and that would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, let's see. I'm checking out on the other screen. In the meantime, let's activate all the other characters so we can see what's going on here. Okay. There we go. I think, okay. I'm going to read from the email that the client sent me about this image. And it says, the highlight was definitely the point where we liberated a couch from a gnome's house and spent the rest of the adventure charging around with it on our shoulders with a character on top of it. Okay, there is something we have to add to this image. I'm going to write it down here. It says, glowing stone hanging from a chain. On a chain. Which the barbarian immediately leapt up to and hung off for a few rounds of combat before crashing to the floor with it and wearing it like a necklace for the rest of the scenario. So, okay, we have to add that to the barbarian. Okay, the only original character was the human druid known as Karahir. He doesn't have much of a backstory. He has a wolf familiar named Red. Who wears a somewhat tattered red bandana. Okay, oh wait, oh wow, I missed some description here. He has long brown hair, we're good with that. Oh, I should have checked this before sketching him out, but hey, it's just a sketch. Long brown hair. Short brown stubble, okay, we're good on that. I didn't give him a very long beard, I gave him stubble, okay. Okay, so we need to, yeah, we got that. We just need the stone, and we need the wolf. Wait, is it a wolf? Did I read wolf? Yes, a wolf familiar. Okay, let's look up. I actually have, oh wow, what did I miss in the chat room? Oh, are you getting Fallout 4 for Christmas, Ebo? Okay. Actually, it just so happens that I was looking up a bunch of reference images of wolves recently. Which is going to be very useful. Let's see, where are they? Where are my reference images? I have... Wait. Where are my wolf reference images? Ah, here we go. So as you can see, I have a bunch of reference images that I've been looking up of wolves. So I'm going to use these to draw in the wolf. Now it says in the commission description that the wolf is actually chasing after them, but this was actually an optional part of the commission, and it says that the wolf is very unlucky. I'm thinking it would be even funnier if the wolf is not chasing them, but up on the couch. You know, the wolf is allowed on the couch, I guess. Or something like that. And kind of hanging from it. Or, you know, more like, let's see what I can do. Let's see what image of a wolf we're going to use. Look at this cute wolf. Look at that face. Oh. I love this animal. No, actually I was thinking that it would kind of be like, let's see. Find a nice angle. Okay. Let's see. I was thinking like the wolf could kind of be hanging from... No, not. It's not a very serious wolf. He says that the wolf is very unlucky. So let's see. Let's see what we can do. Okay, right now the wolf looks like a pig. I know. I know. I'll bring it around. Don't worry. Oh, I have never heard that insult before. Dick tart? I must say I love it. Dick tart. I love it. Okay, now, right now I'm giving the wolf this very subdued expression because he's supposed to be a very unlucky wolf. They call him Red, apparently because of red shirts, because that's like this wolf's life. Apparently he, like, everything bad happens to him, and he has very bad saving rolls. So... Of course I'll fix the eyes in a second. I know that's not... Like, those eyes don't look very wolfish. Then again, that's not my main concern right now. Thing is, with the eyes, with the ears like that, it looks funny, but it doesn't look like a wolf. I'll give it further consideration later. Let's see. So apparently, if you want to play Fallout 4 and you don't want it to be spoiled, what I'm seeing in the chat room is don't check out the videos, or at least don't check out the comments for their videos. Okay, now he's gonna be wearing a red bandana, so... Ooh, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's try another version of the wolf with ears standing. And see if that's more... Yeah, it does give a much more wolf vibe. So maybe he doesn't look as pathetic, but... And now we have to fix him. Because he looks very... Let's see. Maybe snout is too long, I suppose. Maybe we should open... Let's open his mouth. Just that I'm seeing up... Oh! Well... Opening his mouth will make him look a lot more doggish. But I suppose wolves open their mouths too. I have a bunch of reference images of wolves, and none of them have their mouths open. And I'm guessing wolves do that just as well. I mean, please correct me if I'm mistaken by thinking that wolves also open their mouths like dogs. Yeah, I mean, he would be having fun. I do have a reference image of some huskies. Which I love. But all these images of wolves, you can see... Well, this one, I mean, it's not the same. This one is... You see, none of these wolves have, like, open mouths. Well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Oh, that would be so awesome. I love wolves. Such beautiful animals. We don't have any wolves here where I live, but such beautiful animals. And I do love dogs. I mean, I know I'm a cat person, but just because you're a cat person doesn't mean you can't love dogs. I love dogs. Kind of liked it better with the mouth closed, to be honest. Because that way I can make him look not as happy. He's supposed to be a very unlucky animal. Oh, wow. If they reintroduced lynx, that would be amazing. I love that animal. I don't know. I mean, I have to say I don't agree with hunting of any variety, but I know that the world isn't that, like, clear cut. I know that there's sometimes it's just necessary and all that kind of stuff. I just try not to think about it much. I mean, I know there's hunting for sport, which I definitely disagree with, and I know there's hunting out of necessity, which I don't like. I don't like hunting in any of its forms, but I know that there are situations where it just has to be done. But I try not to think about it much. I still kind of hope that, please just don't hunt wolves into extinction. Like, there are, no matter how inconvenient they might be for some people, they are beautiful animals, and we definitely should not hunt anything into extinction. It's kind of funny because all the animals you're saying that that you hunt to protect your sheep are animals that I love, like the wolf, the lynx, the bear. I love bears. Bears are awesome. But then again, I don't live in a place where I'm gonna suddenly meet a bear just out of sheer went out one day and saw a bear. No, that's not gonna happen. Not here. We do have a very interesting bear here in Colombia, and it's very sad because that bear is very endangered at the moment too. It's the spectacled bear. It's a beautiful small bear. It's one of the most representative animals of Colombia, and unfortunately it is endangered. Oh, that looks a lot more wolfish. Okay. So bears are incredibly smart. Well, that's good to know. I do love some bears. Awesome animals. I think a lot of the hunting of these animals is just because look, nature made an animal that's more badass than you. So, deal with it. And that's the case with bears. Bears are badass. Like, I would say, I mean, again, please take everything I say with a grain of salt, because what the fuck do I know? But I would say, okay, you can hunt a bear if you can kill it, like, in unarmed combat. You can punch a bear to death, go ahead. Go ahead and punch a bear to death. By the way, if you can punch a bear to death, I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna argue with you. But yeah, that's how I think we should hunt. You can hunt one of these animals bare-handed, fair fight, go ahead. If not, accept your inferiority and let them do whatever they want. The bear wins. Yeah, and like I said, don't take me seriously. What the fuck do I know? I mean, I don't live in a place where I have to worry about wild animals suddenly destroying my livelihood. The only thing I have to worry about here is Pixie knocking over another one of my figures, my collectibles, and stuff like that. Which she did practically destroy all of. I like that wolf. Yeah, that works. I think this ear needs to be fixed, though. Let's fix that ear. You know, I have to say, Cyrix, I don't really agree with that. You know, I think that I actually think that that whole "you're entitled to your opinion" attitude is one of the big problems we have here on the internet. I do think that it's important that sometimes we're actually willing to just say, you know what, I don't know enough about this to have an opinion on it. And I think that is definitely my situation with a lot of these things. Like, you know, I'll talk because I'm trying to be funny here and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, I don't think I have enough information to have an opinion. And I do think that it would help a lot if more people were capable of doing that exact same thing, of saying, you know what, I don't think I know enough about this, and either I'm going to learn about it or I'm going to shut up, but feel free to disregard my opinion because I don't know enough. So yeah, I think that would be useful. You know, it would help out a lot, solve a lot of arguments on the internet if people were just able to say, you know what, I shouldn't have an opinion on this because I don't know enough about it. Of course, having said that, it's that's like that's way too much to ask from people. That's not gonna happen. It's definitely not gonna happen. So, I mean, you can make jokes about it and all that kind of stuff, like I am, but in the end, we should be able to just say, like, it hurts people a lot to say I don't know, but it shouldn't hurt us that much. You know, we should be able to say I don't know, but that is asking a lot. I have to admit that's asking a whole lot of people. I don't think it's gonna happen. So we get people proclaiming themselves pop culture analysts on YouTube and stuff like that, and we're like, what? Where'd you get that title from? What is a pop culture analyst? And you get people doing these like incredible majors at American and European colleges that I'm just amazed exist at all. But yeah, pop culture analyst. I love that Ebo. Definitely can't spell analyst without anal. I love it. But yeah, that's where you get that. You know, you get suddenly because that's the thing. Like suddenly you get a bunch of people that think that just because you're a fan of something, now you're an expert. So yeah, I play a lot of video games. Suddenly I'm an expert on video games. No, you're not. You just play a lot of video games. Big whoop. How does that make you any different from the rest of us? No, just because you played a lot of Zelda doesn't mean you're entitled to. Well, you guys know what I mean. I'm preaching to the choir here. Like, you guys all manifested that you agreed with me. That's like, yeah. I don't know. It's just that, I mean, nowadays we kind of live in this culture where everybody's looking to get offended, and everybody is a critic, and everybody can review stuff, and everybody has a voice, and all that kind of stuff. And it just kind of gets to a point where, you know, sometimes people should just kind of admit that we're not as smart as we think we are. But hey, neither am I. So maybe what I'm proposing is dumb as shit. But sometimes I do have to admit, that I kind of watch YouTube videos and analysts and stuff like that, and I just want to, like, comment. I've never, not even, I don't think I've ever in my life commented on a YouTube video, and it's not something I plan to start doing anytime soon. But sometimes I am tempted to write a comment on a YouTube video saying, like, how the fuck would you know? Like, what the? Like, why are you talking about this? What makes you think you have any sort of, like, ugh. But then again, I'm not exactly famous for being the most, easygoing person, which, actually, I always consider myself pretty easygoing, but there you go. I'm gonna keep the couch separate, though. Or these two. Okay. Let's fuse. Let's fuse you two together. Let's keep the couch separate. There we go. There's a fascinating conversation going on in the chat room concerning the population of polar bears. Well, you don't see that every day. Okay. We have a huge stone. Oh, I guess, yeah, huge stone. Ah, come on. Sometimes you end up pressing the wrong button on the digital pen. Okay. That stone is on a chain that the barbarian decided to hang around her neck. Okay. There we go. So there we have it. characters are sketched in. Let me analyze this image a little bit. Erase this. I think it's working. Yeah, I like it. Okay, I think we're about ready to start a little bit more facial detail. Yeah, and then we're ready to start the final lines on this image. So, my prediction is that for today, my prediction for today is that we will kind of finish this sketch, and tomorrow is Thursday, I think. Tomorrow we'll start work on the line art or the comic. So right now I'm gonna take a bathroom break, and I know what to do here. Why? Why do I spend so much time on these bathroom break signs? I don't know. I don't know why I spend so much time on them. But I do, for some reason. For some reason, I just kind of enjoy doing this. I have no idea why. It's one of those mysteries. Yes, the battle cry of the bathroom break. I love it. Yeah, this is gonna be my commission proposal for this client. Like, yeah, this is what you should do. Carry the guy to the bathroom break. Oh, I love it. And the funniest thing about this is that while I'm doing this, on my headphones, the music sounding is Barbra Streisand by Duck Sauce. It just goes so well with what's going on here. I love it. I love it. I wish I could play it for you guys, but if I probably can't because you already discovered what happens. But while I'm in the bathroom, I would suggest you go to YouTube and you look up a song called Barbra Streisand by Duck Sauce. And you play it while you look at this image. And that's really all you need to know. So do that while I go to the bathroom. Okay, and we're back. And as I've seen the discussion in the chat room, the Barbra Streisand song does quite fit this image quite nicely. Then again, I'm kind of thinking that the Barbra Streisand song fits a lot of images quite nicely. But yeah, I think a very badass kind of battle cry proclamation of bathroom break. Hey, Pixie, what's up? Okay. I have your ears. Here you go. Okay, relax. Yeah, relax, you're with me. Okay, we can remove that now. Let's leave this image here. We shall call it the B break. This one shall be called frame. And have we saved? We should save. Well, this kind of image really sort of represents what I love about role-playing games, like this crazy situations that arise and the stupid stuff that you do that just makes you laugh, and later on you end up telling people about what happened and nobody seems to get it, but you do. And well, you know, I think that's what role-playing games are all about. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work a little bit on the faces for the final hour of this broadcast. And I will also talk about anything you guys want me to talk about. Let's let's sketch the faces out in Photoshop, and then we'll do the rest in Manga Studio. Actually, I'm kind of feeling like doing it in Manga Studio right now, but let's just work here for a while. After all, this is the sketch part. So, okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm kind of defining the faces more, because that's like the part of the image that people are going to look the most at. I mean, it's not my favorite part. My favorite part is the scenery. But people normally look at the faces mostly. It's something we're kind of like programmed to do. So we definitely want to make sure that the faces are working. In a minute, what we're going to have to do is flip this image over and see how deformed it looks. My guess is it's going to look plenty deformed. Okay. Now, this druid guy is actually supposed to be a little bit good looking, so we're not going to make him... What's up, Pixie? Oh no, it seems that there's somebody out in the halls knocking on doors. I hope they don't come knocking on mine. I am busy. Yeah, so the way that the client described this character, wait, I have to sneeze. Mute button. Okay, sorry about that. So the way the character was described is that he kind of looks like Aragorn. Which I have to be honest, I'm not even aiming for. You know, I'm just gonna go with moderately handsome, scruff-looking dude, which is basically Aragorn. My upstairs neighbor, well, nothing really. It turned out that the guy just kind of doesn't spend a lot of time at home, and apparently I was the only one that didn't know that. I reported the damage to my roof, to my ceiling, sorry, to the agency where I rent my apartment from, and they said that as soon as that when I least expect it, they'll show up to fix it, and that's it. It's not my problem anymore. That neighbor did annoy me last week when he complained that my plants from my garden are growing towards the outside of my fence and therefore making it difficult for people to walk around my garden. To which I had to severely refrain myself from answering that his carelessness had flooded my apartment, and therefore I was gonna feel free to not, take his advice on how I should run my garden. But I didn't say any of that. I kind of kept it civil and just said, yeah, you know, I'll take care of it, and that was it. And that was the end of the story, really. Not a lot of, not very entertaining, not a lot of fun, but yeah, that was kind of the end of the story. When it comes to dealing with my neighbors, it takes a lot to get me to actually be pissed off and give them an aggressive answer. And I did yell the fuck out of a kid last week, though. But it was because one of my neighbors started selling burgers from his house. Like, Pixie, come on. Something I'm pretty sure is not even legal. So the guy sells burgers from his house, and people from the residential unit that I live in just kind of go to his house and order burgers from him, and he just makes them in his house and sells them. I'm pretty sure that's not even legal. But in any case, that's what he does, and so now what I got is a bunch of little kids coming to hang out in front of my house because they buy the burger and they just want to kind of hang out where they bought it. Now, I'm not gonna complain about the legality or anything of what the guy is doing, but I am gonna complain about little kids hanging, teenagers and little kids hanging out in front of my house, because that is definitely not something I'm fond of. And, again, I just kind of put up with it. I know kids are a reality of the world, and, an unfortunate reality of the world, but, I have to put up with them. But last week, right outside of my house, okay, let's see. This is the webcam, so I'm moving it. There you can see, next to where I work, wait, okay, let me show you. Okay, there you can see the outside. This is where I work, right here. And there's Pixie doing... See what she's going to do? Okay, look at what Pixie is going to do. She's standing in front of the monitor. Now she's looking at me like, okay, I'm not doing anything. And she's about to do it. Or you're just going to make me look bad in front of everybody, aren't you? Are you going to do it? No, you're not going to do it, are you? Okay, anyway, this is where I work, right? This is my desk and all that kind of stuff, my tablet. And right next, you see there's a door, and that's outside. So it's kind of nice and fresh, and there's always fresh air here and all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, there's plants and everything, and there's my garden. And out there you can see a couple of cats grooming each other. I don't know if you can see them. And, wait, oh, she's about to do it. She's about to do it. Come on, Pixie. Nah, okay. Well, anyway, as you can see out there, you can see that's my patio, and you can see some plants outside and all that kind of stuff. And you can see on the other side, there's another patio, and that's where my burger-selling neighbor lives. So kids sit right outside of my fence, eating their burgers and having the most stupid conversations that you could ever hear. And look at the distance that I am from there. So I get to hear their entire conversations and all that kind of stuff. Now, up until then, I'm tolerant. I'm okay. But outside, I'm not sure if you can see them here, but outside there's these little palm trees and these huge kind of what do you call those things you put the plants in? Well, whatever. So there's these huge palm trees, and what the kids do, or what they were doing last week, is that they would kind of hang from the palm trees. Now, I'm not sure if you can see, but they're very small plants. Like, these kids are basically mistreating these plants, which I'm sure is going to sound funny to some people, but it's not funny to me. Like, they're going to damage those plants, and they're going to kill those trees. Now, I'm not cool with that. So, you know, they can sit outside of my house and have the stupid conversations that they want. They can make all the noise they want. They can garbage. They can... Oh, look, there she goes. There she goes. See? 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 There you go. There you go. Okay, and I'm letting her do it for your benefit. So you can see that it's not me making it up. Okay, there you go. You satisfied with that, Pixie? Okay, anyway, yeah, so there you go. I caught it on cam. Now you see that it's not just me bothering a cat. It is actually that the cat. Okay, Pixie, I've said 1,000 times you can't hang out there. There you go. So anyway, yeah, last week those kids were kind of hanging from these small little palm trees. They were, I mean, it was even unsafe for them. They were about to tip these things over, and as soon as they fall on them and they break an arm, then they're gonna cry. And so yeah, there was like this one kid hanging from one of those little trees, rocking it back and forth. And yeah, I did yell at that kid like crazy. Like, I shouted at him and said, you know, like, you know, leave the tree alone. Like, there's a bunch of trees in the unit that you can climb. Why do you have to hang from the tree that you're most surely going to break? What can I say, guys? I hate kids. I just, yeah, I hate kids. And I don't care. I don't care if I'm the grumpy old man in his apartment. That's probably what I am to those kids. I don't care. Stop. Like, don't. Like, they can be noisy. They can be annoying. They can be stupid. They all are. But don't kill the trees. Okay. And when I was a kid, I loved to climb trees. But no, this is not climbing a tree. This is hanging from a tree and kind of bending, like they were bending the palm tree. They're damaging it. And, no, it's... Yeah, I'll come out into the defense of trees. I love trees. You guys have seen I love drawing trees and all that kind of stuff. Trees are another one of those things on the long list of stuff that I like better than children. So, yeah, there you go. I yelled at those kids to get off my lawn. Or in this case, to get off my trees. And I also managed to prove to you that Pixie does, in fact, go and try to scratch up my monitor. Now you see it's not a lie. And you also got to see my garden. Okay. So we're coming down to the last 40 minutes of the broadcast. And, okay, I think this guy looks handsome. Yeah, I think he looks handsome. Let's also do a little bit of work on the hands. Like, these are all parts that I'm sketching out so that later when I'm doing the final lines, they actually, you know, they're actually easier to draw. Okay, so, next topic. Come on, give me a question. Well, you see, the thing about Viggo Mortensen is that I remember watching The Lord of the Rings and going like, dude, this guy is very good looking. You know, like Aragorn. Like, wow, this guy's very, very good looking. And also thinking the same thing about Legolas. I forgot the guy's name. Oh man, the actor's name for Legolas. How could I forget his name? What's it again? Some dude. His name is not Orlando Bloom. Yeah, not some dude. Yeah, his name is Orlando Bloom. And I remember thinking like, whoa, these guys are like super good looking. And the thing is, later on, when I saw them outside of their characters, like when I saw Orlando Bloom as Orlando Bloom, and when I saw especially Viggo Mortensen as Viggo Mortensen, I was like, whoa, dude, you do not look like, yeah, you do not have the handsomeness that Aragorn has in the movie. Like, you are not quite as handsome as your character. I thought that was very interesting, you know, how different Viggo Mortensen looks as Aragorn compared to how he looks as just himself. And I think the beard has a lot to do with it. He has, like, I also have a slight cleft on my chin, but then again, I'm bearded right now, so you can't catch it. But I think that his chin is a kind of chin that requires a beard. So, yeah, he definitely needs the Aragorn beard. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Orlando Bloom was, actually, it's not Barbarossa, it's Barbossa. Or Barbossa. Yeah, Barbarossa has some extra letters in that word. It's Barbossa. Or, as they say it in the movie, Barbossa, which is a very poor pronunciation of that name, but Barbosa. But the thing about Orlando Bloom is that he still looks good as Will. What's his name? Will something. Yeah, he still looks good like that. But I still think that like what you get with Legolas is very, very different than what you get with actual Orlando Bloom. Yes, Will Turner. Thank you, Cardinal. Oh, and look at that. Ebo says that Barbarossa is the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1942. There you go. So that's probably where that name got confused for you. Well, it's not only arguably a more interesting event, it's also arguably a more interesting word. Barbosa and Barbarossa. Barbarossa is definitely a more interesting word to say, to pronounce, I guess. I do love Pirates of the Caribbean, though. I actually should write these things down. Like, I'm always thinking about what movies I want to watch. And I always run out of ideas just when, like, the time comes. So let's write it down here. Pirates and Spaceballs. Yeah, you know, I'm a little bit overdue for a nice Pirates of the Caribbean marathon. Your dad is a World War II buff? That is interesting. Wait, isn't your dad Hawaiian? That probably gives him a very interesting point of view. I don't like that hand. It doesn't look right. No, that hand does not look okay. Oh man, I want to go to Hawaii one day. It's something I wish I could give my girlfriend. She lived a year in Hawaii and she loved it. She thinks Hawaii is like the best place on earth. Earth? What am I? Will Smith in Independence Day. Welcome to Earth. But anyway, yeah, she thinks. I mean, she went to Hawaii for a year and she basically fell in love with the place. She loves it. She thinks it's amazing. And so, when something doesn't work, just flip it over. I'm not sure that applies to all things in life, but in the case of this hand, it's gonna. Anyway, yeah, let's use our own hand as reference. That's what we're gonna do. So yeah, she fell in love with Hawaii, and she really, really wants to go back. That's definitely something I would love to give her as a present one day, a trip to Hawaii. Hands are not really as difficult as people make them out to be. Like, you always have your own hand as reference. It shouldn't really be that hard. Okay. Sorry, I'm not really looking at the chat room right now, but kind of Sketching out a hand here. Here. Okay. Okay, wait. Earth is also a character in League of Legends. Wow. I'm pretty sure most of my students would know about that. They love League of Legends. I think it's a lot of. I think for a lot of them, it's the only game they play, which is kind of like, really? There's so much stuff to play? But okay. Okay, that hand looks a lot better. True, it is free, but I understand that most people that kind of really get into the game end up spending a lot of money on it. So, there is that. Okay, this hand ended up looking quite nice. Polish it up a little bit. This knuckle is a little bit too big. Yeah, that looked quite nice. Definitely goes better with the bathroom break. Love the bathroom break. But I'm not going to take a bathroom break right now. I don't think I need one before the broadcast is over, so... And as soon as the broadcast is over, I'm going to just pack up my things and run off to the gym. Yesterday, I planned to go to the gym in the afternoon, and after lunch and all that kind of stuff, you end up being so lazy that you don't end up going anywhere. So I decided, no, today, I'm just going to go as soon as the broadcast is over. No delays. Like, I'll admit, I'm actually very, very curious about League of Legends, and I think it's a beautiful game, and I would definitely love to get into it. But who has the time to learn everything that you have to learn? It's like there should be courses and universities dedicated to that, and I'm pretty sure there are. Okay. I like the way he looks. Let's go down to this guy. A little bit behind schedule, though. Yeah, let's, Yeah, I'm a little bit behind where I wanted to be at this hour. But, still. Here we go. Okay, come on, chat room. Give me a topic. We got half an hour. We got half an hour. Wait. I'm supposed to end up on League of Legends with people to similar skills as mine? So basically none? So like you gather the people that are just opening it for the first time, and that's the people I can play with. I guess in the end, I mean, it looks like a beautiful game, and it looks like a game I could enjoy, but in the end, I still don't like the approach to combat that is mostly like just point and click at stuff and manage your like your stats and your buffs and your stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. I prefer combat that's more hands-on, you know, combat where you actually have to and I know it's an amazing skill. I know like these players are amazingly skilled and pro players are incredible, and I've seen a couple of these videos and these guys are incredible. I especially like when they show videos of the pro players, but they show how the game is going, and at the same time they show like their hands on the keyboard and mouse. Like the movement and all that is just insane. Like the way these people have this thing memorized and the way like the perfection in how they move, it's elegant even and very admirable. But that's not what I'm interested in. I'm more interested in a game that requires reflexes and a different skill set. I know that League of Legends also requires reflexes, but you guys know what I mean. If anybody in the chat room can help me express this in more elegant words, I would appreciate it. But I think you guys know what I mean. You know, it's a very different kind of skill that I want to be the determining factor in my games. I mean, the games I play. Okay, let's flip this over. Ah, here we go. Have to polish those eyes. There we go. The thing is, when I did play it, when I tried it out, I always found myself feeling like, you know, I might enjoy playing something more like Torchlight or Diablo, which I still haven't been able to acquire, but I will. I'm kind of waiting to see if Diablo goes on sale for Black Friday, and then I'll get Diablo 3. If it goes on sale for Black Friday. I don't know, Blizzard are very weird with their sales. So anyway, yeah, you know, when I was playing it, I was like, you know, I enjoy some aspects of this game, but the aspects of this game that I enjoy are things that I would enjoy more in games that were actually made to be that way. So I enjoyed the action RPG, the camera angle, and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, you know, I think I might enjoy a game like Diablo a little bit more. Or Torchlight. I love Torchlight. And those are also like games where you click and your character fights, which is why I want to try other games like that might require a little bit more skill. I've heard that shit, I forgot the name. Well, I have several games that I want to try out that are in that same genre, but might be a little bit more action oriented. If any of you have any to recommend, by the way. If any of you have any action RPGs in the style of Torchlight and Diablo, but that have a combat system that's more based on, you know, your actions rather than handling buffs and stats and stuff like that, like, you know, a nice action RPG with a very complex combat system, please recommend it. I'm looking for that. Yes, Barbosa, the captain of the Black Pearl. I've actually, there's actually a town here where I live called Barbosa. Wait, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's just that. Wait. It's one of those words that you repeat so much that now you don't think it's a real word. Wow. That doesn't happen very often to me. But yeah, Barbosa is a town and here where I live. I just repeated the name so much earlier that it doesn't sound like a word to me anymore. I love that sensation. It's a very fascinating psychological phenomenon. Okay, yeah, this guy's looking alright. I think his head might be a little bit too big, though. I have to check. Like I said yesterday, there are people in the world with big heads, but that's not the point. Actually, no, he has a pretty regular sized head. It's just that with beards, your head looks larger with a beard. Okay. Okay, he looks good enough. This is the one that I think looks kind of generic, so let's fix his hands first. I do have a very big obsession with hands. I want hands to look perfect. I'm not saying I draw perfect hands, I'm just saying I really think it's important to concern myself with hands looking as good as possible. I wish I drew perfect hands, but I don't consider myself bad at drawing hands. They are a little difficult to teach, though. You know, when you have students and stuff like that, and you have to teach them how to draw hands, they're a little difficult to teach how to draw, because some of these things are like stuff that I've never really thought are as difficult as people make them out to be, so it's kind of difficult to teach when you don't really understand what the big fuss is about. But then again, that's all part of teaching, so. Yeah, beards do make heads look larger. I should know. Right now I'm sporting the beginnings of one, and I'm gonna let it grow until I don't know. I'm gonna see how much I can let it grow. I'm kind of I was kind of against letting it grow because I really didn't want to participate in any of those stupid things. I think it's stupid. I'm sorry if you don't, but Movember and all that kind of stuff. I really don't like those things. So I was kind of thinking about not letting it grow because, you know, this is the month where we're supposed to let our beards grow and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't like that. But, you know, in the end I decided, what the fuck, who cares? And just decided to let it grow. I'm actually letting it grow for my girlfriend, not for me. I think I explained this before, that she became obsessed with Vikings now, and so I'm like, oh, okay, and I'll grow a beard and see if you like it, since you seem to be so much into Vikings. I don't think I'm gonna look much like a Viking. But hey, who knows? If I go to the gym every day and get in some awesome shape, maybe I will look like a Viking. Now, if only I had a blonde beard, then I would look completely like a Viking. But that's not going to happen. The Colombian Viking. The thing is, I'm not very fond of not shaving because it's very uncomfortable. It's very itchy. And I do grow a full beard, so... Because I do think it's important that we learn to avoid growing a beard if we can't do it. I'm just going to put that there so people can see what we've been doing today. Okay, here we go. Okay, now, right now I'm working with a with a brush that's very thick, so it's not letting me do a lot of details, but that's ideal for sketching. So it actually works out. Like, it makes it a little bit annoying that I can't, like, have a lot of precision with my brush, but that's really what you want. So... But it is getting to the point where the brushes barely work at all. So it gives a nice, very pencil-y feel. So that's good. So according to whoever told you that, axe murderers have, like, without exception, patchy beards. That's awesome. Good to know, too. You know, if I ever get arrested for axe murder, I'll just say, look, no, look, I have a full beard. Can't be an axe murderer. I have a full beard. When have you seen an axe murderer with a full beard? My beard is not patchy. And then I'll just send them to you so they can, like, grab you as their new suspect. There we go. Hey, you're in the way, dude. I know I just placed you here because I want people to see what we've been up to, but you're getting in the way. Okay. your mustache only connects on one side. Okay, here's a story, and I'm sorry, I really doubt the person that this story is about is ever gonna watch this stuff, because like, they're definitely not a fan of mine. So, I mean, I'm not saying this story with bad intentions or anything. I'm not bullying anybody or anything like that, but yeah, the person this story is about is never gonna watch this, not in a million years. He is not a fan of mine. But in any case, I once knew this guy that, like I had known him for years, but one day he showed up with, like, half a mustache. And I said, like, oh, okay, now, let's just call him, I'll give him a fake name. I'll call him, whatever, the guy. Let's not even give him a name. So anyway, the guy shows up with half a mustache. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's an interesting statement with your facial hair. Yes, let's call him Barbarossa. Okay, so Barbarossa shows up with half a mustache. I'm like, well, you know, that's an interesting look, I commented to the guy. And the guy explained that it wasn't his fault. That apparently what happened... Wait, which one is this? This one is a rogue. I think this one is the... Wait, which one is this? Yeah, this one is a rogue. Okay, anyway. Where was I? So yeah, so the guy comments that it wasn't his fault. That what happened was that apparently he was suffering from a lot of stress. And in suffering from a lot of stress, apparently the manifestation of that was that his facial hair, he was basically suffering from facial hair baldness. And his mustache, like, he was so stressed out that his mustache kind of started falling out because of the stress. Now, that is not anything to laugh about. Like, that is, okay, stress is a real thing, and okay, you know, you should learn to handle your stress and everything, and apparently not learning to handle your stress can cost you your mustache. Okay. Up until then, I'm like, okay, you know, this is fine, let's not make fun of anybody for this. Stress is a very real thing, it's a very real problem, and we have to avoid it. And we should work more towards getting people to being able to handle their stress. Up until then, I'm good. But the question I had to ask him, and I did, was, Barbarossa, if you're suffering from mustache baldness due to stress, why are you still growing a mustache? Why don't you just shave it? Like, this is only gonna stress you out more, like, just having that constant reminder on your face of how stressed you are. And I think I missed a little detail in this story that Barbarossa is probably one of the biggest hipsters that I have met in my life. I'm talking, like, the kind of hipsters that we were all making fun of a few years ago, like, you know, the tight shorts and little loafers without socks on, and sailor t-shirts and little hair, like, just huge hipster, like the stereotypical hipster. So tell him, hey, you know, if you're suffering from mustache baldness, why don't you just shave the mustache until, like, that problem is fixed? Like, why have that constant reminder that you know, you're suffering from stress and all that kind of stuff? Why not, like, just shave off the mustache if you can't grow it right now? He got angry. He was very offended by my comment. Apparently you cannot suggest, like, apparently my suggestion that he just shave the mustache while he couldn't grow one was very offensive to him. And yeah, he got very angry. I mean, he didn't yell at me or anything like that. But yeah, he was very offended, and he was very displeased with my suggestion that he shave his mustache because, yeah, heaven forbid a hipster without a mustache. And that's something I've never been able to understand with mustaches and facial hair, like with people that can't grow a mustache or facial hair, and it's if you can't grow it, that's not a big deal. But if you don't get like a full face of hair, if you don't get a good why are you keeping them? Why don't you just shave them off? Like these are like you're not growing a good mustache, shave it. Oh, she's pretty. I like her. Yeah, I like her. Don't you guys like her? We can close. This looks kind of funny, like all these floating heads and hands. Looks like some kind of performance art. Yeah, I like her. I like her face. She's alright, you guess. Well, thank you guys. Glad you think I show potential. Okay, but we need to fix this eye. It's crooked. Better. Okay. That's why we always have to flip the image. Okay. That is so not true, Yodel. Like, I remember you making me repeat complete parts of my image just because you were trolling. I have nothing against trolling, go ahead, but, you know, fess up to it. Unless you're trolling right now. Oh. How deep does the trolling hole go? I don't think I would enjoy running around town carrying a couch on my back for no reason. And I would definitely bet, I'd be willing to bet that this is just like one of the characters got a wild hair up their ass that they had to do this, and the others are like, why are we doing this? And because that happens a lot in role-playing games, that one of the characters decides, one of the players decides that they have to do something, and the others just have to play along. I'm willing to bet this is that situation. Well, maybe I was trolling you, Yodel. I'm calling you a troll. Whoa. Trolling within trolling. How deep does the trolling hole go? Round and round. Where it stops, no one knows. When it stops, nobody knows. She's pretty. I think I would agree with you, Ebo. That it's definitely, you know, we should definitely be more upset about carrying that guy on the couch than carrying the couch itself. The couch itself cannot be expected to walk along us, while the guy on the couch is like, why are we carrying you? So I agree. And, Yodel, yes, the trolling hold sounds very dirty. But I like it dirty. Arrgh. Okay, we got 3 minutes left on this. So let's, those 3 minutes, I'm gonna make an artistic decision to shave one side of this woman's head because I like that look. So why not? And there was a very hot blonde on Vikings that had one side of her head shaved. So why not? This is supposed to be a barbarian anyway. And I like that look. I like women with shaved sides of their heads. Great, I like it. They both look like different people. That's awesome. Okay. Well, it's time to call it a day, but okay, that's pretty much it for today. Let's see what we got. Okay. So, let's place this up. Prop this up. Oh, hey, Pretender. Okay, so today we sketched out these characters and the couch. It's, after we sketched out these characters, like we did this sketch right here. So after we finished this sketch, which we started last night, we proceeded to work a little bit more detail into their faces. We're still missing the Slayer, which is right here. But most of his face is covered, so that's not a problem. Anyway, this has been the Murder Hobos commission, and we are working on it now that the Black Dragon is just missing details. So, you know, stuff that I'll just do off cam. Of course, I will show you the Black Dragon once it's done. I posted progress of the Black Dragon yesterday on my website. So anyway, that's about it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been the Ministry of Abnormality Twitch broadcast for the 11th of November of 2015. I am OAbnormal, and Pixie is taking a nap outside in the garden, so we're not going to be saying goodbye to her. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you so much, guys in the chat room, for hanging out and making it fun for me. I'll see you all tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be drawing the comic or I'm just going to continue drawing this. Probably the comic, so I can have it ready for Friday, and just Friday morning I'll work on commission. So, Yeah, but anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow at 9. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to broadcast tonight. I am coming down with a little bit of a cold, so if I am getting a cold, I'm probably going to take it easy tonight and sleep in early and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much it for today. See you everybody tomorrow. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. Bye, Yodo, Cardinal, Von, Pretender, Ebo, Kaito, who else do we have here? Let's mention everybody. Mr. McAllister, Von, Yodel, Pretender, Matilald, and other people in the chat room that haven't spoken, so I'm not going to say their names in case they just didn't want to, respect their privacy. So anyway, that's it for today. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Good hunting. Have a great day.